a low, suspenseful tone. Imagine coming home one night and finding your elderly parents shivering outside, their lips turning blue. While inside your house, your in-laws were laughing, drinking, and throwing a party. That's exactly what happened to me, and I promise you, I made them pay in a way they'll never forget. If you've ever felt powerless or disrespected by people who thought they could walk all over you, hit that like button and subscribe. Because today's story is about betrayal, family loyalty, and the kind of revenge that leaves you cheering for justice. Setup: the protagonist's life and emotional context. I never thought my marriage would put me in a position where I had to choose between my parents and my spouse's family. I'm protagonist's name. Let's call him Alex. Mid-30s, married for 6 years. My parents aren't wealthy or flashy, but they're the kindest people you'll ever meet. Hardworking, humble, and always putting others before themselves. My in-laws, however, let's just say they couldn't be more different. My wife's parents thrived on status, appearances, and control. They judged my parents constantly, mocking their simple clothes, their accents, even their manners. Every family gathering was a reminder that to my in-laws, my parents would never be good. Enough. At first, I let the little comments slide. I told myself it wasn't worth fighting every battle. But over time, the disrespect grew bolder. And then came the night that broke everything. The injustice. Parents locked out. It was winter, bitterly cold. I had been delayed at work, but my parents decided to drop by my house to bring some homemade soup. They always worried I wasn't eating well. They had called ahead, but I didn't answer. My wife's family, however, was already at our place, celebrating some cousin's birthday. When my parents arrived, they expected warmth. Instead, they were greeted with a slammed door. My in-laws told them, "This isn't your party, you're not welcome here." And instead of letting them wait inside until I got home, they locked the door. My parents, 2 elderly people, were left outside in the freezing air. By the time I pulled into the driveway, I saw them sitting on the porch, shivering, my mom clutching my dad's arm, their lips tinged blue. Inside, I could hear music, laughter, and glasses clinking. The warmth of the party, my blood boiled. Escalation. The argument. I rushed to get my parents inside. My mom whispered, "It's okay, honey. Don't cause trouble." But when I opened that front door, every ounce of restraint inside me snapped. Alex, furious. "What the hell is wrong with you people?" Father-in-law, smirking. "They don't belong here. This was family only." Alex, "They are family. They're my family. And you left them out there in the cold?" Mother-in-law, "Don't be so dramatic. They're adults. They should know boundaries." Boundaries? My parents nearly froze while these vultures sipped champagne and mocked them. My wife tried to calm me, but her silence stung more than anything. She didn't defend my parents. She just stood there. That night, as I tucked my parents into the guest room with blankets and hot tea, I made myself a promise. They would regret ever disrespecting the people who raised me. Turning point. The plan. Forms for days. I couldn't shake the image of my parents trembling outside while the so-called elite in-laws partied inside. My house. I replayed every insult, every smug grin, and then it clicked. These people lived for control, for appearances, for being the center of every gathering, so the best revenge would be to strip that power away and make them feel the humiliation they so eagerly handed out to others. The revenge. Planning and execution. The opportunity came sooner than I expected. A month later, my in-laws were throwing their big annual party, over 100 guests, local politicians, business partners, all the people they loved to impress. And guess where they wanted to host it? That's right, my house. At first, I played along. I smiled, nodded, pretended to go along with their plans. But behind the scenes, I was setting up their downfall. I changed the locks and only gave keys to myself and my parents. I contacted a caterer, but not the one they expected. Instead of the lavish menu they promised their guests, I arranged for the caterer to deliver everything directly to my parents' house across town. I even called a few important guests myself, hinting that the location might change last minute, just to plant seeds of doubt. And then, the night arrived. Guests began to arrive, dressed in tuxedos and gowns, walking up to my house expecting a glamorous evening. But the doors? Locked. My in-laws. Standing outside, confused, embarrassed, their smiles quickly fading as more and more people showed up. I pulled up with my parents, calm, collected. My in-laws rushed over. Father-in-law, hissing. "Alex, open the damn door, you're ruining everything." Alex, calmly. "Oh, this? This isn't your party anymore. Remember when you locked my parents out in the cold? Tonight, you'll know how that feels." One by one, the guests turned their attention. Whispers spread. My parents, standing proudly beside me, invited everyone to their house, where the food, the warmth, and the real hospitality waited. The look on my in-laws' faces? Pure rage. Humiliation burning on their cheeks as their carefully crafted image collapsed in front of the very people they craved approval from. That night, my parents' home was filled with laughter, music, and joy. Guests praised them for their kindness and authenticity. And my in-laws? They were left standing outside in the cold, exactly where they had left my parents. It was poetic justice. Watching my parents, who had been treated like outsiders, finally shine in front of the very community that my in-laws wanted to impress. Every smile, every compliment, was a dagger to my in-laws' pride. For once, power shifted. They were the outsiders. And I didn't feel guilt, only relief. Sometimes revenge isn't about anger. It's about balance. My in-laws thought kindness was weakness. That night, they learned the hard way. You can't build respect on cruelty. And you never, ever underestimate the quiet strength of people with dignity. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the coldest act of revenge you've ever seen? And of course, subscribe for more stories where justice is served, in the sweetest way possible.